introduction, I'll briefly explain what happened in this case. The university had an outdated system that didn't integrate, which contributed in making the processes slow and inefficient. During ERP implementation, they faced crashes, poor training, resisting to change, data migration issues, and a high cost that they have to bear. They solved this by implementing PeopleSoft ERP with better testing, training, and a phased approach to improve efficiency and system integration.
Question 1. By all accounts, NCSU ERP student implementation was a success. However, yearly efforts were not quite as successful. A. What lesson did NCSU learn from the implementation of this financial and HR module that may have contributed to their successful implementation of the student module? So first, the importance of proper planning. During the financial and HR implementation, NCSU faced delay, performance problem, and technical issue. From this, they learned the ERP project need detailed planning, realistic timeline, and clear objective. For student module, NCSU improved the planning process and scheduled the implementation more carefully. They also aligned it with the academic calendar to reduce disruption. As a result, the implementation became smooth and more effective. Second, better training is essential. Yearly training was not effective because it was conducted too yearly and many users forget what they have learned before the system went live. To improve this, NCSU introduced just-in-time training and the train-the-trainer method. This approach increased user readiness, confidence, and ability to use the new student system successfully.
So thirdly, NCSU improved their system testing approach after they facing system crashes and performance issues during the early implementation. So for the student modules, they have applied more comprehensive testing such as unit testing, functional testing, user acceptance testing, and load testing. So this ensured the system was properly tested before going live and they could handle real transactions volumes. So as a result, the system became more reliable, errors were reduced, and the internal control over data was strengthened. So finally, NCSU emphasized strong teamwork between the functional and also the technical teams. So in the earlier phase, there was poor coordination between IT and also the users, so which caused misalignment between the system and also business processes. So during the studio modules, they improved collaboration by involving OIT, business users, and also subjects matter experts. So this helped ensure the system met user needs and also reduce misunderstandings and made the implementation process more effective.
For this question, I believe NCSU's successful student ERP implementation was mainly driven by other important factors. Firstly, strategic planning and readiness played a major role. For NCSU, they did not rush into implementing the student system. Instead, they waited until the PeopleSoft student modules were more mature, stable, and web-enabled. This reduced technical risk and ensured the system was better suited to the university needs. In addition, the rollout was carefully scheduled around the academic calendar. This was very important because activities such as student registration, enrollment, and semester preparation could not be disrupted. By choosing the right timing, NCSU improved the chances of success. Next, strong governance and leadership support also contribute significantly. After experiencing problems in the earlier financials and HR implementations, NCSU became more serious about project governance. The university introduced stronger controls over change requests and unnecessary customization. Resources were also allocated to the most critical project areas. At the same time, support from top management helped maintain commitment, provide direction, and ensure the implementation remained aligned with the university priorities. Besides, team involvement and user communication were essential. The project involved cross-cooperation between functional experts, IT staff, and consultants. This collaboration helped bridge the gap between technical requirements and business needs. In addition, NCSU focused on strong communication with users throughout the project. Users were informed about change, trained properly, and encouraged to provide feedback. This reduced resistance to the new system and increased user acceptance. Lastly, technical preparation and data quality management were critical success factors. NCSU invested significant effort in converting and cleaning data to ensure accurate migration from old systems to the new ERP platform. Data accuracy was important because poor quality data could create operational problems. The university also carried out extensive testing, including functional testing and load testing, to make sure the system was reliable and could handle demand during peak periods. In conclusion, NCSU student ERP implementation succeed because the university combined good planning, strong leadership, effective teamwork, clear communication, and solid technical preparation, which will help NCSU avoid many of the mistakes made in its earlier ERP efforts.
To answer question 2A, enterprise risk management or ERM is a structured approach to identifying, assessing, and managing risk across an organization. It covers all key areas including operation, finance, IT, legal, and reputation while focusing on the bigger picture rather than individual risks. ERM help reduce risk and improve decision-making by giving management a clear view of potential challenges. It also supports value creation and protection by helping organizations seize opportunities while safeguarding their assets. Overall, ERM promotes accountability, transparency, and good governance, which are essential for long-term success.
So based on this case, the factor that increase human capital risk is firstly lack of user competency. So for early implementation, ERP implementation, they had really good training that basically makes the workers forget what they learn because they have to learn many new things such in a short amount of time. So basically, it will lead to errors in data entry and also incorrect processing, such as billing and also records. It will reduce the reliability of the financial information. So the next one is high employee turnover. So the staff work more than 60 hours in a week during the implementation. So that results loss of experienced staff since they choose to leave the place after their work burden is heavier, and it will make a knowledge gap in system usage. So this impacts in continuity and also consistency of accounting processes. So the third one is learning curve and skill gap. So through the collaboration with UNCCH, new staff must adapt to new standardized system processes, which they may have possibly different customizations, and also they have um, different systems, and not all employees can adapt at the same pace. So this is a higher risk of user errors and also inefficiency. So the final one is role ambiguity and responsibility role. So when we share the system, so they also may share responsibilities. So they will be unclear on who leads which processes, who is accountable for each errors, since it is two teams combined into one. So maybe it will leads in confusion.
Moving on to the decreasing side of human capital risk, there are several factors that help reduce it. Firstly, better training program. The organization used test and training and train the training approach to ensure users quickly learn how to use the ERP system. This improves employees' confidence and reduce error caused by lack of knowledge or fear of the new system. Secondly is strong teamwork. During the ERP implementation, both technical and functional team work closely together. This collaboration ensures continuous support and better communication, which reduces the risk of miscommunication and project failure. Thirdly, through collaboration with UNCCH, work flexibility can be improved. Staff from both universities are able to support each other and tap fill skill gap when needed. This reduces workload pressure. Lastly, share knowledge and allow support base also reduce human capital risk. Both universities can share expertise, experience, and resource. As a result, the organization become less dependent on specific individual, which lower the risk of defection.
For question 3A, there are several benefits if North Carolina State University and University North Carolina of Chapel Hill share ERP system. So first is cost saving. ERP systems are very expensive. In this case, NSC already spent about $31 million, which UNCH was expected to spend up to $75 million. So by sharing one system, both universities can reduce duplication of costs like software, hardware, and also maintenance. Second is better use of resources. Instead of managing two separate systems, both universities can share IT infrastructure, system support team, and technical expertise. This makes operation more efficient. Next is reduce maintenance burden. If they share one system, they only need to handle upgrades, troubleshooting, and maintenance once, instead of doing it separately for each university. Last is improve data consistency and integration. Since both universities are using PeopleSoft, sharing the system make it easier to standardize data and processes, especially for reporting. So overall, sharing ERP system can improve efficiency and reduce costs, especially during the budget and constraint mentioned in this case.
So, for question 3B, I will discuss whether the financial modules should be shared between North Carolina State University, NCSU, and the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, UNCCH. In my opinion, the financial modules are the best candidate to be shared, but only selectively and with careful standardization, not through full identical integration. Financial modules are more suitable for sharing because many finance processes are generally standard across organizations. These include general ledger, accounts payable, accounts receivable, and purchasing related operations. These functions follow common accounting principles and workflows, making them easier to standardize compared with human resource or student modules. By sharing these functions, both universities could reduce duplication of systems, lower maintenance costs, and improve efficiency. Besides, sharing financial modules will allow UNC Chapel Hill to benefit from NCSU's greater ERP experience. Based on this case, NCSU had already implemented PeopleSoft Financials in 1998 to 1999, while UNC Chapel Hill was still working on its first ERP implementation in 2009. This means NCSU had already gone through system rollout challenge such as performance, training, and auditing issues, and had gained valuable experience. Therefore, UNC Chapel Hill could learn from NCSU maturity and avoid repeating similar mistakes. However, full sharing will still be challenging because both universities likely had different financial structures and reporting requirements. For example, they may use different account codes, budgeting methods, approval process, or internal control systems. Because of this, some areas such as management reporting, internal controls, and accounting structures should remain institution-specific or at least be heavily configured for each university. Therefore, the best solution is hybrid approach. Both universities should share the basic financial platform while allowing flexibility for local needs. This approach balances cost savings with operational control and reduce implementation risks. In conclusion, financial modules should be shared more than HR or student modules because they are more standardized and can generate efficiencies. However, sharing must be selective, carefully planned, and supported by common financial data standards to ensure long-term success.
Next, I believe that not all modules should be shared, especially the HR and student module. Starting with the HR module, there are two main issues. First is different pay schedules. The case mentioned that the both universities pay their employees at different times, so it will be difficult to combine this into one shared system without causing confusion or error. Second is too many customization. NSU has already customized its HR system to fit its own need. If they are shared their system, they may need to remove or redesign this customization, which would be costly and disruptive. Next is student module, which is even more complex. First, there are different rules and processes. Each university has its own way of handling admissions, registration, and student record. So it is difficult to standardize everything into one system. Second is billing risk. The case that tuition calculation involves 23 different variables. So if the system is shared, even a small error can lead to incorrect billing, which could affect student, parents, and even university reputation. So in conclusion, although sharing ERP system has benefit, the HR and student module should not be shared because the risk and complexity are too high.
There are several key risks and challenges when integrating systems between two universities. First, there are differences in system and processes. Each university may use different charts of accounts, HR policies, payroll cycles, and student administration process. This difference can make integration more complicated and time-consuming. Second, there is high integration complexity. Aligning two large and complex ERP systems is not easy, especially when both systems are highly customized. Data standardization also becomes a challenge as information from both institutions must be consistent and compatible. Third, there are data security and access control risks. Managing users' access across two separate institutions increases the risk of unauthorized access or data breaches. It is also important to ensure compliance with privacy laws and audit requirements. Finally, there are technical and operational risks. System downtime could affect both universities at the same time, and there is a greater dependency on shared infrastructures. In addition, system upgrades and maintenance become more complex. Overall, careful planning and strong risk management are essential to ensure a smooth and secure integration process.
Question 3D. What steps would you take to maximize the benefits? There are 4 benefits, and the first one is to adopt a selective sharing approach, which is this way could keep student-related modules separate to maintain flexibility, and also share IT infrastructure, system security, and technical support. The second one is to focus on data standardization and not full process alignment. This way, it could standardize data definitions, formats, and reporting structures. The third one is to reduce costs through shared resources. The first one, it could share data centers, system upgrades, and maintenance. So this way, it could minimize duplication of systems and effort. And the last one is leverage NCSU's prior ERP experience. So the first one, it would apply lessons from past failures and improvements. And the second one, it could reduce implementation risk for UNCCH. Next question, also from 3D, what steps would you take to manage the challenges? So there are 3 ways, and the first one is to implement strong change management, in which to ensure continuous stakeholder engagement and to provide timely training and clear communication. So the second one is to manage system differences gradually, which is the differences in chart of accounts, payroll, and student processes. And the last one is to control system customization, which is we should follow adopt rather than adapt approach and reduce long-term maintenance and upgrade issues. As a conclusion, in general, ERP systems can help universities manage their data better and improve efficiency. However, this case shows that ERP implementation is not just about technology, it also depends a lot on people and management. Problems such as poor training, weak change management, and lack of system testing can cause system failures, user confusion, and even audit issues. At the same time, modules like financial, HR, and student systems are closely connected. So if one part has problems, it can affect the whole system. Thank you. That's all from us, Group Matcha Strawberry. Thank you. That's all from us, Group Matcha.